Good. How are you, Bart?
How's it going? How do you?
Yeah,
Yeah, where are you playing out of?
playing out at MGM National Harbor.
Okay,
5-10-25
in Washington, right?
in DC. Yep.
5, 10, 25. Is this the largest game that goes there on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, yeah. Sometimes there's 10 quarter, and then there's like a semi-private game that goes on in the back room sometimes.
Okay.
But this is the largest regular game.
5, 10, 25, 25 under the gun, right?
25 straddle, yeah. So
Okay.
basically, they always play based with a mandatory straddle.
And how deep are you for this hand?
I was at 3.8.
3.800
effective.
All right, so 3,800 effective at 5, 10, 25 at MGM National Harbor. Okay.
And I'm sitting in middle position with King of Hearts, King of Clubs.
Okay.
The action folded to me, and I opened at 65, which is the standard open there.
Okay.
And was called by the button and the big blind.
So the button and the middle blind, the big blind call.
Yeah.
All right.
Some context here. I was kind of shot taking here, so it's a pretty small game, so most people know each other. The big blind or the button is notoriously very aggressive reg there.
Okay.
And the big blind is probably a little fishy to be. I haven't seen him before, but he was playing a lot of hands. Not something to be too scared of, but he probably had like 1.8 in front of him.
So people might know that you're shot taking a bit. You say the button is notoriously aggressive, but he just flats your open though. And the big on the button and the big blind is in the middle. Okay. The pot's 225. 225.
210 I have, yeah.
All right, 210 to the flop. Okay, go ahead.
Flop comes out very dry. Queen of clubs, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts.
Okay, queen of clubs, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts. It's multi-way, obviously. But yeah, I mean, really shouldn't be a whole lot of, or any two pair here.
Yeah. So this was a kind of a sizing question I have, where if I go with a standard third pot here, another thought I had was maybe kind of bet on the bigger size here, unblocking the queen. And I've also know that you've talked about kind of on these boards when you unblock top pair, maybe looking for a check raise opportunity as well. So I was wondering your thoughts there.
Well, from the background that you gave, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you said the button is a guy that's like overly aggressive, maybe. The thing that's going against your check raising is that you only have one guy to the left to act to your left, as opposed to you just being like truly out of position. So there's less of a chance. If the big blind checks to you naturally, there's only one opportunity for a guy to bet. The other thing that I have going against me, or what I feel differently, is that if these people think that you're shot taking, and then all of a sudden you check raise the flop, there's not like a whole lot of guys that are shot taking that have like a check raise bluff where you wouldn't see that much. I mean, it would be a really shame for the button to like bet fold like queen 10 on the if you check raise here or something like that. But yes, you definitely unblock. You unblock having a queen. That is good for you. I would think that button would almost always 3-bet ace queen, but you do block king queen. So I don't know how often there are many queen X out there, but if the big blind is sort of fishy, and the button can have some queen X.
Big blind checks in flow. I did end up going for a third pot of $75.
Okay.
And then got 2 callers.
Both call.
Yep.
So the button and the big blind call. And you guys put in 225 on the flop. So now the pot is 435. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And the turn came the 7 of hearts.
So the turn is the 7 of hearts, which puts a backdoor heart draw out there. It brings in 4-5. I don't know how relevant that is, but the queen and the 6, the top and the middle card are not hearts. Queen of clubs, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts. Turns the 7 of hearts. Pot is 435. Okay.
Yep. And this again comes into a sizing question. It does check to me. I am betting out at 210. And I think I should be sizing up a little bit here to try and target some of the queen X. But I did go ahead and bet 210.
I would, well, let's see here. So the big blind overcalled. He's the recreational guy. The button can be notoriously aggressive. I mean, the type of player that you want to be playing against is probably more of the big blind here, in the sense that like a kind of if he's probably fits into like loose passive, if he's kind of one of the spots where you can just continue to get max value from a queen X. And then honestly fold if you like check raise his turn. The fact that you've got the button in there though too, who is notoriously aggressive, kind of changes things. But I will say though, like the button could have had a plan on the flop where he could have been like really floating you light, possibly to try to take it away on the turn or something like that. And now that this other guy has overcalled, that doesn't come into play. So I could almost see checking here more often to the aggressive guy if you were heads up, like you're pretending like you gave up. But now that you add the other guy in there that you can get value from, and the fact that the other guy overcalling the flop probably should decrease the button stab turn frequency, then I kind of like actually betting a little bit more. Now, obviously, you can supposedly get yourself into a world of hurt here, I suppose, if the button were to raise you. In terms of sizing, yeah, I would probably go larger. I would probably take a 275 to 300. I mean, I don't think your sizing's terrible. But okay, so you go 210.
Yeah, and right on cue, the button does raise, puts out a pumpkin chip and raises to 800. And big blind folds.
So button raises to 800, big blind folds. If you call, the pot will be over 2,000, where you would put in 1,600 on the turn, and you would have, what, 2,800 left, something like that?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Well, I mean, if you're telling me he's notoriously aggressive, I mean, I sort of know where this is going, right? I mean, what is he? I mean, what is he representing here in terms of value? Slow played sets. I suppose he could have some 4-5. I suppose he could have like 7-6 here too, as a call. I mean, you didn't go huge on the flop. That's like 2-pair, 7-6, and then, you know, what are his properly structured bluffs? I mean, are there hands here that have backdoor hearts that would be some sort of straight draws that wouldn't make a straight anyways? Doesn't look like it. I don't know why he would need to raise with Queen X of hearts behind either.
Yeah, the one I was thinking of afterwards would have been like something like, yeah, ace 4, ace 5 of hearts that's now picks up the flush, but I don't think he can call with those on the flop anyway, so I kind of canceled those out.
Well, I mean, again, though, theoretically, he's probably not supposed to because of multi-way theory. But again, you giving this type of background here, I have seen guys peel in the middle, because when people peel and these guys peel in the middle, it makes the guy behind him have to like overcall tighter. And he could have been possibly setting up a play, something like that. Again, there probably is some frequency of him 3-betting those hands pre anyways. But it is interesting, though, when you take a look at the fact that if it's not super logical that he's raising pair plus backdoor flush draw here, because Queen X is top pair with hearts that doesn't necessarily need to be raised, and he doesn't have a lot of like these really light floats, he doesn't really have a ton of bluffs here, especially if he's peeling with 7-6 on the flop. I mean, the pot's 1,400, and it's what, 600 for you to call. You've got kings with the king of hearts. So could I mean, put it this way, like if you didn't give me that history behind, I could see folding here almost kind of easily. You know, some people might say exploitably folding. Sounds to me like you want to continue, though.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Something I also kind of factored in that I was thinking was what's this holding the king of hearts do for me here? Because I am blocking, obviously, his king, queen of hearts.
Don't you think that 3-bets off, though, anyways, though, on the
But that
button?
has to, that's the 3-bet off pre-flop. So
yeah.
What Queen X backdoor does he have? I mean, Queen 10 maybe. I'm guessing Queen Jack would also 3-bet from the button.
But even if he calls sometimes with Queen Jack of hearts, Queen 10 of hearts, that's not really the hand that I'm going to be raising with on turn here. Top pair and a backdoor flush draw, I don't need to raise that hand. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking for something else. Like, what about like 5-6 of hearts?
Yeah.
So maybe some sort of hand that, the reason why I keep saying this is because 4-5, which is open-ended, it obviously gets there, right? So that straight gets there. So 5-6 of hearts would turn a combo draw. And then what else is there? I mean, it couldn't really be, 4-6 of hearts if he's going down that far. That's why I'm saying, like, when you look at this, especially if he's got 7-6 suited, it's kind of hard to start constructing, just because of the way that the distribution of the board is a ton of bluffs. So did you think about folding, though, at the time?
A little bit, yes. But I did just feel like it was too high up in my range to be folding pocket kings with the king of hearts, and so I did continue on here.
Now, John F says 10-9 of hearts and 9-8 of hearts. The board's queen of clubs, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts. Again, for the same, I would think that ace 5 and ace 4, if it was going to be a light float in between, would be way better calls than 9-10 of hearts and 8-9 of hearts. I mean, you definitely don't want to be calling those types of like 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush types of holdings in multi-way pots. Now, maybe the guy is, but I'm just saying, by the way, this is why I told the caller, Haiti, right? That it's an easier check on turn if heads up from out of position in this particular spot, where if he had bet and the button had just called, let's say that you take the big blind out of the equation entirely and it goes bet call. Now the button might have some of those hands that need to start bluffing, but it's multi-way and the big blind overcalled flop. So that's why I like the bet, because I think he gets checked through, but it's just, he shouldn't really have some of those really, really light hands. So button raises to 800, big blind folds, hero calls, and now we are at 2,035, and you have like right around what? You said 27, 2,800, right? Something like that? Okay. All right, so what's the river here?
River comes the 8 of hearts, so brings in the back door. And I checked, thinking honestly that there's potential if he did bet small, holding the king of hearts, that I might be able to take it away, but he did end up betting.
Wait a minute, that what? That what?
Holding the king of hearts. I thought there was a chance that if he bet small, I might be able to make some sort of move on the river.
Wait a minute. You mean like if he bet like 500 or 600, you were going to check raise all in with kings with the king of hearts?
I was thinking that could be an option.
What were you trying to get? What were you going to try to get him off of?
Potentially 5-4, or not much, honestly.
That would be a really ballsy move, and again, he'd have to really, really bet small, right? Because if you had like 29, if you bet like 500, I guess it would be a pot-sized bet. But again, even when you try to make that play in live poker, even if someone's thinking the shot taking you, they're still flicking the call with like a set or something like that. But anyways, you said that didn't happen. Hero checks him. How much did he bet?
1,800.
1,800. You have 29 to start. Seems pretty chunky. So the backdoor hearts now get in now. 4-5 gets in there now. I mean, I don't think I'm going to call here. I think it's time for us to eject.
That's basically what ended up happening. I did think about it for a bit. The part that kind of put me in the blender for a little bit was just what hearts does he have? But I think in the end, he can value bet so many things that are not hearts that end up coming down with the fold. Yeah.
So hero folds. Did you get a reveal?
I unfortunately did not.
And so you never found out what happened?
Nope. I was hoping to run into him this week, but I didn't end up seeing him. So,
well, again, if we make this into a YouTube, some people will flame us. If best of YouTube video, some people will flame us without the reveal. I actually think that the turn inflection point still might be a fold. A lot of times people can wrap their head around, they might overthink a situation where like, oh, this guy's aggro, I'm not folding to him. That might be true. The guy might be aggro, true. But again, if you really take a look at the fact that he's disincentivized to raise turn with Queen X of hearts on the backdoor side, there's not a whole ton of bluffs out there, which somebody could counter saying, well, then you have to like check. I suppose then you're supposed to sometimes check the turn if you're planning on bet fold. Like I have no issue with playing as a bet fold, especially in there with a third guy in there. But I would definitely fold at the end. If the guy bluffed you, he bluffed you. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it.